My name is Ian Erasmus, and my passion and purpose in life is to train leaders to transform Africa. The world, Africa and South Africa, is in need of masses of leaders at every level of society. That is why in 2018 we have founded Leadership Advantage in Johannesburg, South Africa, with the vision to empower students to transition into leaders who will transform Africa. Leaders with inspirational vision, leaders with impeccable character, leaders with transformational teamwork, leaders who are productive, and leaders who will deliver results. Our curriculum is accredited with the authorities in South Africa. Our budget is tried and tested to maximize resources, and our tutors is passionate and experienced in what they are doing. We have a challenge for you. But just before we share the challenge, a short story from our side. In 2019, we just started Leadership Advantage. We had no opportunities in front of us, only a number of challenges. And I asked myself, Ian, do you give up on this dream to train leaders to transform Africa? Do you stop what you have been doing? Do you give up on this dream? So I asked myself, Ian, what do you do? So I Googled, what is the highest and the tallest building or the tallest place, the highest place in Johannesburg? And I got an answer to go to the Carlton Hotel in Johannesburg, South Africa. So I got on my motorbike, I drove to the Carlton Hotel, and I asked the people around there, is this the highest place in Johannesburg? And they said to me, yes, this is the highest place in Johannesburg. It is the top of Africa. And when I heard those words, the top of Africa, I knew that I was at the right place to get some peace and quiet and to ask myself some serious questions about the journey ahead. So they guided me towards the place, and I asked a few more people, and everybody told me, oh, you want to go to the top of Africa? That's the direction. And I got to the small booth, and I asked the gentleman, is this where I buy the ticket to go to the top of Africa? And he said yes, and he gave me the ticket that indicated the top of Africa, and I knew I was going to the right place here. 50 stories up in the lift. But just before I got into the lift, I had the ticket in my hand, and the next moment I heard a big noise behind me, and I turned around, and it was 40 or 50 young African children coming towards me. And I asked myself, Ian, you wanted to have some peace and quiet, but look around you, it's 40, 50 young African children playing around, shouting, screaming, making a big noise. And I asked myself, where's your peace and quiet? So I pressed the button on the lift, and I went 50 stories up, and I had some peace and quiet, and I started to reflect and ask myself some serious questions about life and about this journey of training leaders to transform Africa. And the next moment, the lifts opened up, and it was these 40, 50 young children coming out of the lifts, making an even bigger noise, shouting and screaming. And I thought to myself, should I go to another place? I wanted some peace and quiet, but it's 40, 50 young African children playing around, making a big noise. But then I heard the voice inside of me that said to me, Ian, you came up here to ask yourself, should you give up on this dream to train leaders to transform Africa? And that voice inside of me said, Ian, look around you. And it was 40, 50 young African children. And that voice inside of me said to me, Ian, don't you give up. Look around you. These are the next generation of leaders in Africa. Ian, don't you give up on this dream. And that morning on the top of Africa, in that building, I made a promise to myself, and I made a promise to the young people around me, and I made a promise to the young people in Africa. I will not give up. And our challenge to you is that you get involved based on the communication that was sent to you, based on the communication that we're having with you, to get involved so that we can transform Africa together.